That isn't normal. Every high stakes meeting, you feel like you're talking on mute. You've already got the technical skills. But when it's time for you to finally show that authority in English, something breaks. Just practice, they say. Read more, they say. But you look at your career path and your career isn't moving because of your English. You aren't just learning a language, you're actively losing between 25 and 35% of the potential money you could be making every single month. And every month you don't fix it, you're paying the translation tax. That is the real business English problem. As you watch this, I want you to think of one situation. Where does this happen most for you? Is it when your manager asks you a direct question? Is it when you need to disagree politely or talk with native speakers? Put that in the comments. The moment your English slows down, tell us where the problem begins. A lot of professionals and many of my clients think that English is just a useful communication skill. It's not. At a certain level, English becomes a visibility skill in an international market. It affects whether people hear you and your ideas. It affects whether you sound ready for more responsibilities, for promotion, whether you can lead a room and not just sit back and let others speak for you. And this is where business English becomes different from school English. In school, you can take your time. You have the time to think before you speak. You can correct yourself. You can write a sentence slowly. But when you work professionally, the room keeps moving. Someone asks the question. Someone challenges a point. Someone asks for your opinion or recommendation. And if you have to translate from your native language into English, you will lose the moment. Not because you had nothing to say, but because you couldn't access it fast enough. And that is what I call the translation lag. The lag is the gap between understanding English and producing it quickly enough under pressure. And if you're a professional, that gap is not just frustrating, it becomes extremely expensive. Here's what makes this so dangerous for you. Nobody will tell you. Your colleagues won't tell you. You sound slow when you talk in English. Your manager won't say, you're translating before you speak and it makes you sound less ready. The people deciding your next big opportunity won't say, your communication is costing you authority and that promotion. They will simply feel something is wrong, that you hesitate too much, that you're not quite ready to enter the discussion. They may feel that you're better writing than being in the room where the decisions happen. They may feel that you're technically strong, but not leadership ready. That is a translation tax, and that costs you money. It's a cost you pay every time someone misreads your English delay as a professional weakness. And it's so frustrating because you may be the most capable person in the room. You may have the better answer, see the risks earlier, understand the business better. But here's the thing, if your English arrives late, if the room doesn't hear your experience and the full value of your thinking, in business, perception matters. And perception isn't fair because perception and your reputation is what decides who gets trusted with the next conversation, the next project, the next client, and the next promotion costing you money. This is why more vocabulary is not always the answer. Vocabulary helps, yes. Learning and improving your grammar helps, yes. Improving your pronunciation helps a lot, yes. But if you already understand English, if you already know the answer, if you can already write an email well or explain an idea later, then your problem is not your English knowledge. Your problem may be accessing English in the right moments. Moments like, can you produce a sentence fast enough when the pressure hits? Can you explain your point when people are looking at you? Can you disagree without sounding nervous? Or give your recommendation without over-explaining? Or sound calm when your brain is completely overwhelmed? This is a completely different skill entirely. Apps don't train it. Textbooks don't train it. Conversational class don't train that. They help you study English, but they don't prepare you to perform in it. And that is what most of my clients have needed. Not more English vocabulary or grammar, but being able to perform in business English under pressure. At a certain level, your English becomes the issue, not because it's terrible, but because your role or career has outgrown the slow access. When you're in a lower level position, you can survive by understanding, by listening, and doing good work. But as you advance in your career and become more senior, you're going to be expected to speak. You're going to be expected to challenge. You're going to be expected to frame the issue and express your opinion calmly, confidently, and with authority. You're going to say things like, here's the risk. Here's my recommendation. Here is where I disagree. This is what I think we should do. Yes, all of that requires vocabulary, but it also requires reflex and training. An executive doesn't have 5 seconds to translate every key word in a sentence. A director cannot keep waiting until the perfect sentence appears. You cannot be the last one to speak because your English is forming. When you reach a senior level, late English will make you seem less competent, less ready, and that is the issue. You have the skills to be a senior. You have the experience. But if your English access is making you appear less senior than you are, I would ask you this. Is your English really the problem? Or is your access to the English you already know the main issue? Because these are not two things. If the words are not there, you need more English. But if the words are there and you cannot reach them fast enough in meetings, you need a different kind of training. You need to train access and preparation. You need to train response speed. You need to prepare professional sentence patterns under pressure. This is why I do not approach business English as just practice more. More practice is not enough if you are practicing the wrong thing. You need to practice the exact language moments where your authority breaks. For example, how do you enter a conversation without sounding hesitant? Or disagree without sounding aggressive? Or buy yourself 2 seconds without saying or explain a complex point simply in English. That is the work, not more vocabulary or generic small talk or textbook phrases you rarely ever use. But the goal is to build business English reflexes around your actual career, your meetings, presentations, because when the pressure rises, you will not rise to the same level as your vocabulary list. You'll fall back on the trained reflexes, and if you haven't trained them, you're not going to be able to express yourself like the professional you are. I've seen many times with professionals who are already successful. Many can be directors, senior managers, all of them strong on paper. When they're able to write or speak in their native language, they're smart, professional, funny. But the moment they need to speak in English, something changes. They suddenly become quieter. They shorten their answers if they answer at all. They avoid interrupting, they wait too long, and don't be themselves. Over time, they let other people label them, and this creates a reputation. Not on purpose, not suddenly, but over time. They get cool things like he's good technically, but she's smart, but he needs more confidence. This is painful because it costs you being able to show yourself as a competent professional you know you are. So when we're able to close that gap, they don't become a different person. They become the more visible person they already were in their native language. And this is exactly what I diagnosed. So if this sounds familiar, what I want you to do is to check out the link below, where I have an audit for professionals who already speak English but know it's still holding them back. This is not for beginners, it's not for casual practice. It's about focusing where the issues and gaps are in your English that are making you sound less confident, less decisive, and stopping you from progressing in your English. So if you feel like your English is slower than your intelligence, or you're tired of paying the translation gap, make sure to book a free consultation call below. And please don't wait till the next performance review to find out your communication is holding you back. Don't assume more vocabulary will automatically fix the pressure problem. You already have the knowledge, the experience, and the ideas. Now it's time to start the work to making sure the room can hear you. So again, make sure to book your English audit below, and in the comments tell me this. Where does your English slow down the most? During meetings, presentations, interviews, client calls? That answer is where you should begin your training, and I hope to see you in the next video.